I'm going to share with you my thoughts about creating great teams to work together in any organization. When I started my journey about leading people, I also believe about sending people for team building programs and all, which I myself participated. And yes, certain lessons are learned how to work together. But sadly, when the moment we come back to work, all the knives come out. Right? So it really doesn't work. So fast forward today, my thoughts are that if you want to have teams that can have good teamwork must be practiced and used continuously. Otherwise, we're just talking and there's no action. So what we have now in our company is that we have people we send for training, facilitating training. You cannot have teamwork without people who are skilled in facilitation. In fact, we also required all our leaders to have facilitation skill, because in facilitation, you learn that you have to use influence to get people to go the way you want. Right? Then we have given them training on things like ICC, lean manufacturing. All these requires teamwork. So what we do in the hotel is we have teams within the department who solves departmental problem, and we have teams multidiscipline across work groups, across functional groups, so that we can form multidisciplinary teams to solve a bit more complex problem. On top of that, we have committees for all sorts of festive events in the year. In Malaysia, basically, we celebrate about 5 different festivities in the year. So with all these activities, our team are forced to work together and practice in a disciplined way to work as a team throughout the whole year. And this is reinforced. And you will learn also in brainstorming, you need to have teamwork processes to get the best ideas out for people to work. We not only have teams within the hotel, we also have teams between hotels. Okay, and between hotels, we are solving a different type of problem. And we have hotels now covering for each other. Say, for example, a lady in HR resigned from Hotel A. So Hotel B will cover that work until Hotel A has time to hire and look for a good person. We don't want to put our people under pressure to say, I must fill up the job, right? We want to give them adequate time. We'd rather look for quality people than filling the job, because filling the job doesn't work. In fact, we have a term in our company. When we recruit people and we are really short of people, we have what is the name is called a compromise hire. A compromise hire is somebody we already flagged from day one that we need this person urgently, so we have hired this person. But this person should not be confirmed, and it's a cardinal sin if somebody come and say, I want to promote him, because it defeats the purpose that you're hiring lousy people, right? So this is how we create teams and make sure that teams work together. The next area I'm going to talk about is getting people to love the company and be loyal to the company. Right? So again, in my earlier day, we had things like family day. Now, it's nice to have a family day, but I'm going to share with you that it doesn't work. It doesn't create people. There's not a common glue. What we have learned is that if you want your people to be enjoying working with you, and also they themselves can see that they are growing, you got to step in when they have a problem in their personal life, be it family, be it person. Because when they need help chances are there's nobody they can go to who has the knowledge to solve the problem. Let me give you an example. I have one lady whose husband passed away, and she went around 3 months looking for somebody who helped with the estate. And then I was saying, why are you so busy? Oh, I cannot find somebody. I don't know how to sort out the estate. So I said, why don't you talk to me? Because at my age, I have helped people with all how to handle estate after a person died. I just spent 15 minutes with her, problem solved, right? So let me also share with you some of the personal help we help people. Okay, having gone through a divorce myself and having spent about 6 months thinking through what went wrong in my first marriage, I already came to some conclusion of what it's all about. Okay, so one day we opened a hotel, and this lady was working for us, and I said to her, "Oh, you have a serious boyfriend?" She said, "Oh, not only that, I've already announced my wedding date." So I said, "Okay, why don't you invite your future husband for lunch?" He came for lunch, and I looked at him and I said, "Oh my gosh, it's going to be a really bad marriage." Anyway, because the wedding date was fixed, I didn't have the courage to tell her. Right. Fast forward, she has 4 kids. Basically, has raised herself, and finally, recently, she went through a divorce. Right. And actually, 10 years after that incident, I actually apologized to her to say that I didn't have the skills to tell you. 3 years after the first incident, I was in China. I'm running a hotel in Shenzhen, and I have a very good manager of the coffee shop. And the same conversation, casual conversation, I asked her, "You have a serious boyfriend or not?" She said, "I have a boyfriend." And I said, "How long?" She said, 3 years. Then I said, "Oh my gosh, this is 3 years, it's serious." So I said to her, "Okay, I don't have the time to go through in detail, but let me tell you, this is an assignment I will give you to go and analyze." So I taught her how to analyze her own values and beliefs, and what she want the relationship to be, and what type of values and beliefs she has that the spouse must have, and that is what they want to teach the children. Right? So I gave her some instruction how to do it, and I forgot about it. The next month I went, but the second month I went after that, I had a bit of time. So I asked her, I said, "Oh, can you sit down?" And I was going to ask her, I said, "So what happened to the homework I gave you?" She said, she's a tough lady. So she said, "I broke up with this guy." Anyway, I also, it was the right decision to do. So fast forward, what I've done is I've now set up a form where we make the person put in their values and beliefs and how they accumulate it, and then they put the ideal partner, what is the values and belief that that person must have, and after they fill it up, they should not give it to the other person. Then you give the form to the other person who does the same thing. And when both are filled, then you have an open discussion to say these are what we are all about. And that brings the rationality in the discussion. Basically, we are bringing the love from the heart to the love in the mind. So there's a common foundation stone that a relationship can last. Right. So now what I do is when I see somebody having a serious partner, I would give them the form and say, "Why don't you do this homework? And if you can handle it yourself, it's not a problem. But if you want to facilitate and open the discussion, I'm here to help you." But I'm very happy to say that most of the time they can sort it themselves. sort it out themselves. And one day I shared this form with my lawyer, who happened to have in his firm a lawyer specializing in divorce. And he told me, he said he shared the form with that partner, and the partner told him, he said, this form covers 95% of the reasons that people go through a divorce. So that's the type of thing we do. The next area is that about 25 years ago, I learned about how you should keep your body hydrated. And basically, the body, when you drink water, will stay with you maximum 1.5 hours. So I had a very detailed way of how to keep yourself hydrated. And I've been sharing with everybody in the company and every one of my friends. If you would like to know how to be hydrated, just contact me on the platform and I will send you the information. So basically what happened is that if you are hydrated, all of us have defects in our DNA. But if you are hydrated, it minimizes the chance that the DNA that is not good, it doesn't allow it to express, or it delay the expression of that defect. Yeah. Again, we are moving a lot in this direction now, and we are now, because about 15 years ago, I started to read about gut biome health, etc. And today, I found a wellness functional medicine practitioner in KL, and we are now coaching all our people who have some have cancer, some have a lot of other problems, and then to see this functional medicine practitioner, and basically you go on an organic supplement for a period of time to bring all your body function measure. It's basically using blood to check what is the problem, and you either go through a monthly follow-up blood test and to see whether you're on the right track. And after you take the supplement for a bit of time and everything is normal, then you change the type of food you eat, and then you continue yourself, right? So these are the type of thing we do. And then I've also stepped in when people have difficulty with their children, or they have spousal issues. I try to facilitate, and sometimes it works, sometimes it ends up in the divorce, but at least a decision is made. So what I find is that this type of thing, by helping the staff in time of need, you create very loyal people who will stay with you through thick and thin.